shorty, shorty. Baby girl, all my girls, stand up and say, well, I'm on the way this time. Cool, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature to shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I'm in the papa, you can be the mom. Well, I'm on the way this time. Well, I'm on the way this time. Cool, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature to shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I'm in a papa, you can be the mom. Well, I'm on the way this time.
It goes around and
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Stop it up. Don't be scared. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad. Cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to a Monday Night NasTruck special. Tonight, Widecrest CFR bring to you the NasTrucks from Charlotte. This is going to be something spectacular. Under lights, we've got 22 cars lining up. We've got some new people returning into the com box tonight. My man T-Man, Mr. Tyler Sheaf. Sheafy, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks. I've been enjoying my weekend, as it was my birthday weekend, but I'm looking forward to racing tonight.
Oh, happy birthday, mate. Hope you had a good one.
Yeah, it's a bit quiet, but nah, it's good fun though.
A bit quiet.
Not
it's
age
never
older.
good. Another year older. You circled their son another time, eh?
Yeah, I'm surprised I've made it that many. But see how many more I've got to go.
So, Tyler, I've got to ask, mate, you're in the comm box, and we're seeing some of your Velocity boys having a crack out here. We got Matty Gerard, and of all people to get in a truck here at Charlotte, there's the one and only Grandpa Gowans. What is with the Velocity boys coming in, mate?
Well, I'm starting to question my sanity because it was my birthday on the weekend. I might have had a couple too many because I don't know if I'm alive or not to see Dougie Gowans out there on circuit right now. It's amazing. I can't even get him on an oval track. Don't know what made him decide tonight to do it. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing him out there. He'll adapt pretty quickly, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes out there. And Matty Gerard as well. I haven't seen him out, I think, once at Richmond. But he's normally pretty much a busy man, family man like yourself, and I think he must have got the green light from the missus that he's allowed to go on the swim tonight.
So we'll either the missus has given him the green light or she's out, you reckon, eh? That's the go for Matty Gerard. Well, Matty, if you're tuning in and listening, buddy, blame Tyler. He's giving away all your trade secrets. But your secret's safe with us, mate. If the wife's out, we won't tell you racing. Don't worry about it. But, hey, listen, as we go down the order, I just want to bring up the standings. We got young Dylan Gray, who's bumped up from the fixed into the open, currently sitting P3. So that's not a bad effort.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision from Dylan. I believe that he's quick enough to fight against the boys in the open, and allowing that with a little bit of setup changes that he's allowed to do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the podium tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dylan Gray is again one of these young guys that we know can steer the car. Like, he doesn't need to be too worried about sort of too much in the car. He does doubt that he'll go all right in the trucks in the open setup. But I mean, look, he's what? Not even two tenths off the pace. He's only 1.17 off the pace, so he's not too far. And if you're looking there at the auto, you got Jason Holdsworth, who's our bit of a gun, right there in P2. So you got Tim Blundell, Jason Holdsworth, and Dylan Gray. Then you got Darren Robin there as well, just mixing it up in that top four. So it's good to see young Dylan Gray get in there and have a crack.
No, it definitely is, and not only that, we do speak to, I do speak to this man every week, and so do you, but Kyle Ridley in the Opens in P6, and Wilkinson as well in P8, that's really good to see that the Open boys are up there fighting for a top 10 position.
They're fixed.
Oh, fixed, sorry, yeah, sorry.
They're blue.
Open, yeah.
But again, you look at the lap times, and they're only 0.6. I know that sounds like a lot, but when you've got draft, when you've got cars all packed in around each other, that's not going to be a lot of time, is it?
Absolutely not. It's like on an oval track, 0.1 is a massive difference, like when you think about it, or 0.2, but it's really minimal. It just depends on your braking point, your throttle control, your steering input. It's very, very minor. And like when you look at all the boys doing their times right now, I think the top 15 within 1 second of first place, and that's a very, very good effort.
Oh, 100%. And just reset the paints there for a minute. But another one that I want to give a huge shout out to is Thomas McEwen here on screen. He's got the white paint while it reloads. Joined the league and is having his first dig with us tonight. So welcome on in, Thomas. It's a pleasure to have you here. But Tyler, we're talking about some camera angles before. I want to check this out. I want to show you this camera. Look at this camera from the turn 3 perspective. Look at this camera. Oh, how good is that going to look on lap 1 when they're all just streaming through 22 cars? It's just going to look crazy going past that camera, man. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see when the boys got to go into the pitch, if they're in a big pack, and just see them just going side by side on the left and right of that camera. It'll look pretty cool, I reckon.
Yeah, it's going to be something special. Again, I got to ask you, like, I know you do a lot of dirt stuff, but what do you think of racing under lights? Because we're not under daylight, we're under nights. If we get a nice little static blink, and look at that image. It's so dark that it's just lit up by lights. What's your thoughts on night racing under lights?
Well, I think it's awesome. Obviously, depends what track you go to in the country or over in the States as well. It's predominantly night racing compared to day racing. So it feels a bit weird, especially with NasTrucks. I normally watch them in the day, so to see them under lights, they look pretty cool out there. And I don't think there's a black spot out there, which is a good thing compared to some speedway tracks. No, it's good to see the boys under the light. The cars look nice and sparkling out there, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, this track is just, it's just an amazing circuit over night time. Over daytime it looks really good, but over night time when you just see that outer ring lit up, and you can see the inside, you can see the road circuit there as well, the Charlotte Road circuit. There's just something special about the racing under lights. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way the light flickers on and off the car as they go through, and it's not like a sunshine. It's a different light. And I think that plays a little bit with drivers as well, because they're sort of going, through the shadow, like you can see it there on that front stretch. You got light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, and they're just going through it at pace. It just changes the way the brain perceives the track, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. Considering that there is some conditions out there for some people that can't focus under lights, so I could be playing sports or racing. So it is phenomenal that these boys out there, like even in real life, when they're racing at night time, it's just playing around with the brain a bit with artificial lights. But I think it looks fantastic. Like if you look at the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Like that under light, that's just phenomenal. I want to go there one day and just witness that under light.
Yeah, 100%. It would be one of those special things to just sort of tick off the bucket list, I reckon, is to see a Formula One race under lights. And it's just something about that artificial light that just changes the dynamic of the race. It just gives it a different feel, just different energy about it. I love it. I think it's just awesome.
I think the good thing as well, like the track temperature is so much cooler as well, so you see the cars at its highest potential of being quick as possible. So yeah, it does change strategies up a bit, and the tyres should last a bit longer than normal under like 40-50 degree track temp. These boys here, they should be having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, and look, I've just gotten word. Pete Baxter has spiced things up this evening for these boys and girls out there on track, and he's made it a one-lap shootout for quali. Pete Baxter is the genius behind the series, and doing really spicy things like one lap for quali just mixes it right up, because you kind of got to be on it straight away, don't you? You don't have that warm-up lap, you don't have that safety net, that banker lap. You can't sort of get a lap done and then go, okay, now I'll push on, because that just doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how many of the boys and girls out there will be able to get their head around let's just say, the one lap. Because normally if you have a two lap, you use the first lap as a banker, and then you use the second one as the quick one, get your tyre in and everything like that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the guys are a little bit off pace, because it's a very, very difficult task to get a one lap pace. And you look at 29.6, I think you're lucky to see anyone within the 30s, like the low 30s on a one lap pace.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we'll see a 29 unless you're right on top of your setup and you can get it to bite up straight away. I'm not quite sure we'll see a 29 in quali. But that spices it up though, because if you look, let's go to best times here in the tower. In the standings there, you can see the gaps: 29.66, 29.72, 29.84, the top three, and then you got 30.03, 30.03, 30.2, then 30.24, 24, 26, 26. Again, there's nothing in it. You can throw a blanket over the top 10. Top 11, you can throw a blanket over them and cover them all in one swoop. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think quali is quite going to be where it's at tonight. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more left on the track during the race than we do in quali this one tonight.
Yeah, well, the bad thing about this is a super track, so kind of a super track. It's a large track compared to last week, so it'll be interesting to see that maybe being in the front isn't the best. You'd rather be in the second or third row where you can just sit back, relax, save your fuel, save your tyres, then attack later on in the race. Especially if there is one or two safety cars, because there's only 100 laps this race, and if there's no safety cars, the race will be over before you know it.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Like, as you say, that there is no safety car, no short track stuff tonight. So if you don't get a safety car, it is going to make this very fast tonight, because 100 laps, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's really not a lot of laps. As we saw, like, you're looking at 29-second laps. The boys are going to just bury laps really, really, really quickly. So it's one of these things that's going to be rather interesting to see how this plays out tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how many people attack it from the get-go as well. Obviously we see a few boys going out the pits now, and we're watching them out on track as Proctor's going around for his first flying lap. Well, first and only flying lap. It's just so crucial just to make sure you do not make that mistake. Just one small mistake, if you spin on the exit of the corner or entry of the corner, that's it, you're done. You're starting at the back. And as well as that, try not to hit a wall as well, because it's very crucial just not to make that mistake. Although when I was out there practicing just before this, if you touch the wall a little bit, you lose a few tenths from the get-go, and it hurts really, really harshly.
Well, there we go. Dylan Gray's just set a 30.29. So we were talking about that low 30, and I think you're on it, mate. There goes Jason Halter at 30.13. And McEwen there in a fixed truck. Thomas McEwen there, the new guy in the fixed truck. Look at Glenn Wilkinson in the fixed as well, 30.55.
That's really quick. Even Matty Gerard's got a decent time on the 30s.
Yeah, Matty Gerard in the Pebble Velocity Simlab truck. Again, not doing too bad. Chris Bleakley now puts in P3 with a 30.34. This is going to be, quality's going to be over before we know it, Tyler. It's going to be short, sharp, and if we're not catching it, we're going to be in trouble here. Bryce Meddings now P4.
Oh, there'll be a couple of boys staying back a bit just to see where the times are. As we see Kyle going out now.
As Julian Mookie just drops it into P2 with a 30.14. Almost parallel with Jason Holdsworth. So that's fantastic to see Julian cracking on with that.
Yeah, very unlucky just to miss out on pole position. It was 4 1,000th of a second off. As we see Kyle. Has he already put a time in, or he's made a mistake?
Not sure what he's done, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Timo Blundell's gone up into P4 with a 30.32. We're looking at Grandpa Gowan's in P12, mate. Of all the spots, he's in P12.
Yeah, no, you'd be very happy with that.
Oh, and so he should be.
Where's that getting Kyle?
Where is Kyle going to end up in the fixed truck now? For those of you just tuning in, new to the series, the blue is our fixed setup guys. They cannot touch anything apart from the basic stuff, and then the red guys are the open setup. They have full control over their setups in the system. So.
Ooh, P6 for Kyle. That P6, is very, very quick.
That is a fast lap. 30.41. and the top fixed truck out there. So we're looking at Tyrone Walsh hasn't done a lap. Reno Wilkinson hasn't done a lap. And Andrew Proctor, we just saw in the chat, has gone, that's me done, lost the rear.
Oh, no. Oh, it just shows how important it is not to make a mistake in the one lap. Yeah, as you seen just then, that would have hurt him. It should be fighting for top 10. I've seen a lot of pace from Proctor and Tyrone Walsh as well. So
yeah, we saw Tyrone get a win a few weeks ago here at CFR, and it was good for him. I mean, it was one of those little like Stephen Bradbury moments where the top two kind of went kaput and sideways and everywhere, and he just snuck on through for the win. But I mean, you know, when it comes to ovals, you've got to take the win wherever they come from, don't you?
oh, it's just any win in general, no matter where you're out, if you're out there on circuit or just ovals. I think ovals are just a bit more harder as well because it just takes a lot of mentality to do the same thing over and over again. You don't have 15 to 20 different corners. You just turn left, turn left, turn left, turn left. So you can play mind games with you a little bit. So I think that is qualifying done. Everyone is finished.
It does. It is. It's over. It's finished. That's quality done, dusted, and all over. So here is your grid for tonight's race from Charlotte, and we'll just run through. So Jason Holdsworth are going to line up beside Julian Mookie, Dylan Gray beside Tim Blundell in the top four, second row, Chris Bleakley, Kyle Ridley off row 3, Bryce Meddings and Glenn Wilkinson off row 4, Braden Sagassa and ET off 5, Darren Robb and Matty Gerard off 6. That's impressive for Matty Gerard. Ryan Huckle and Dougie Gowans off 7, Brad Lane and Brian Blundell off 8, Michael Locke and Thomas McEwen off row 9, Reno Wilkinson is off row 10, and Andrew Proctor will be off the back because I believe Matty Keane, Jason Lamb and Tyrone Walsh are up in the combox. So Mark Rocott and Andrew Proctor will be way back there at the back of the grid. But here we go with the formation lap, mate. This is I don't know, man. Look at that camera angle. Look at that camera angle.
That looks so nice with all the cars lined up.
Oh, how good is it? You know,
very nice.
We can bounce down them and we can just see what's, you know, Mickey Locke, and we can get all the way down there to Mark Grocott, Andrew Proctor. We can just bounce all through the boys as we come back up and get a nice look at the way they are. But I mean, that to me, that is probably the best way that you could start an oval race. Just angled up, waiting for everything to roll out. That's just crazy stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely, and there's one thing I want to ask a question. You might not know the answer, but Dylan Gray, is that the SLM paintwork on his car compared to last week?
Yes, that is. And I do know about that. And I won't comment too much on air about it, but there is something in the works for young Dylan there. My understanding is there's a little bit of extra work going in the back seat, and I'm sure that will all be announced in due time.
Yeah, hopefully it works out for him and for the team. Yeah.
But you are correct. That is Dylan Gray in an SLM livery. There it is on the side. But yeah, there'll be more to follow on that a little later. But right now, it's just a work in progress. So
we've all been in that position where you got to earn or to work for the position for the team. But it's good to obviously he's given opportunity to work with another team and see what happens.
Well, I mean, when you get a chance to work with any team, I mean, you take it with both hands and try and run with it. And again, not saying that you know, that's what everyone should do, but you know, there's definitely some merit in getting that sort of done and being there for that. But here we go, green flag. Barney is away. Jace Holdsworth has gotten away really early. He's brought Dylan Gray with him. So let's get into Digger at 3 and let's watch these guys come. Oh, Tyrone Walsh is gone. Looks like Tyrone's had a big one. know. What's happened here? The start went. It looks like Tyrone and Brian
I
here.
was in front of him.
Oh! That was...
That was another SLM boy.
Tyrone was just avoiding that. So who was that? Yeah, I don't know who that was.
It
that
could be
Andrew
Andrew. I
Proctor?
know Andrew was up there. Yeah.
Was it Proctor that...
Yep, I reckon it was. He just went a little bit
look, it
sloppy.
is too. It's Andrew Proctor. So what's gone on here? What's he done? Oh,
Oh, no.
spatial awareness.
Yeah, and then the
I think
boys
that's
behind
what it
just had
was.
nowhere to go.
I think they just avoided that one, but you know, we are on the safety car already, so we didn't even get a lap in the books.
Talked about the launch. Jason is maintaining a great start like last week as well. Just can't believe how much of a launch he can get off the start compared to everyone else. As we saw on the outside, Julian Ricky, he struggled a bit to keep up because I think Dylan Gray also got in front as well. At the
Yeah,
start,
Dylan did
impressive.
get up that one spot, yeah, as you were saying. He did climb over Julian, and Julian did slot back a little bit there. But I think that was more because the inside run, it was a shorter thing, and Dylan was kind of on that jump, you know, he was ready to go. Now he's going to line up on the outside. Have to see if he can get the same sort of jump, but that's, like you say, that's going to bring Julian down to the inside now behind Jace Holdsworth, so we'll have to see what goes on there. 16. Braden Sagasa has somehow been caught at the front of the pack here.
Unless if he went into the pitch and got caught behind because it just got waved around by the sounds.
Looks like he did get the wave around. Hey, look at the boys, mate. Look at the boys. Matty Gerard, P13, Dougie Gowans, 15. Look at him back there. Just surrounding Mickey Lock. So we
Well,
can
Mickey.
see Matty Gerard on the left. We've got Mickey Lock right in the middle here, and then we've got Dougie Gowans that's going to be right behind him there. So there we have the three cars. So good for those boys. Again, it's good to see Dougie out there and having a crack at these things. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight. He is running the fixed setup, so he won't have the banners on just at the moment because he did jump in very late. So we'll get him sorted for next week. But you can see up the top on the ticket, Dougie Gowans, it'll be in a blue number, so that'll indicate he is in the fixed series. Hey,
I think
Ridley.
he's Ridley, yeah, he's up there as well.
P7
Is that
behind
Rid-
Bryce Vennings.
Yeah, I think Bryce had a good jump as well. Just got in front of him on the start. There's Kyle was in P6 at the start and Bryce was P7. But talking about a bit of a jump, you have Ryan Huckle, he gained 2 positions, and then Brad Lane as well, he gained 3 positions at the start. Miko Lock also gained 3 positions at the start as well, so there's a few movers from the get-go, but at the moment Braden Chagas is the biggest loss. He's lost 10 positions in this race already.
Well, the biggest mover on that first lap was Mark Grocott. He's up 5 positions, so again, he just stayed out of the trouble and he got clear of the mess and the carnage. So yeah, interesting to see. We are under caution here at Charlotte this evening. We are lap 4 of 100.
Yeah, so we're only 4 laps in, 4%. There's I think the boys are going to start going up side by side now with 1 lap to go under the safety car. Talking about NASCARs or NasTrucks, who's your favourite driver out there?
Oh, out there tonight. Well, I actually don't have a favourite driver, man. I'd just like to see. I'd like to see good hard racing, man. I know these boys can put it on. You know, you Jason Holdsworth, you Julian Mookies, Bryce Meddings, you know, Kyle Ridley again. You know, those boys, Darren Robb. You know, just you just know they can put on a good quality race. So I just love watching these boys racing, man. No favourites for me. They're all quality, and you know, they're just out there doing their thing, and I think it's great.
And that's obviously good to see as well. No, I don't mind a bit of an underdog story. It's better than someone winning every race, and Tyrone Rolls is a bit of I'd say a bit of an underdog of a story, getting his first victory a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, it's great to see so many different drivers from different teams, and just when you think about it, like who would be on the podium, and just anyone can be on it, which is good to see.
Well, the other thing that we talk about, Tyler, is we're looking at the mix of trucks. So it's good evening, Pete Jones out there in YouTube land. Hope you're enjoying it, mate. I'm glad to see you there. But we're looking at, what, 7, 8, we've got 10 open trucks and 12 fixed trucks. So we've got a really good mix. And here goes Jace with his jump again. Dylan pulls in right behind him. That's a great launch. Now, can we get our turn 3 digger running? Special camera just for Pete Jones tonight. We got this set up. Where are they, Pete?
It should be coming around now.
Where are they, Pete? There they are. Here comes Jace Holdsworth leading the boys through. Look at this camera. Look at the shade. Look at the vibration. Everything on that camera. Look at those Dougie Gowans. How good is that? That camera is crazy. You see Julian right up on the back of Dylan Gray. Now he's going to get the bottom to his own racing line, but Dylan just holding pace up in that extra little bit there, eh?
Yeah, he's done a really good job to make sure he didn't lose that position there. But I think his number one goal is to make sure that Jason doesn't get too far ahead. But it'll be interesting to see what strategy these boys do. It is a bigger circuit, so the draft will be a massive part of tonight, and I'll be intrigued to see if these boys, even if they're not on the same team, if they work together and try and make sure that they work together to steal the win for each other.
Yeah, exactly. And Pete Jones loves our view of the turn 3 digger, so that's awesome. Look, you talk about Jace Holdsworth not getting away, but he's eking out a little gap right now, 0.7. But again, on the same note, you got Julian Mookie, who's about 0.6 behind Dylan Gray. So it's starting to open up at the front, just a little. What is going to be the key now? Lap 9 and 100, so about 1/10 of the way through. What's going to be the key now for this top 3, do you reckon?
Oh, it depends what their strategy is. Obviously, this is such a big track as well, so it depends how the boys race. They drive it really clean. They will not be relying on safety car at all. So, depending on the situation where they are in the midway point of the race, if there's a safety car lap 40, I see all of them pitting in, make sure that they've got the fuel and the tyres to go. But yeah, it just depends where the pit box is opening up for them. So I'm not 100% sure who's going to be the most beneficial out of it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's about getting into a groove right now. It's about setting yourself up and staying clean, as we see Cole Woodley there on the screen, just leading Brad Lane for the fixed side of this. But we will flip back to Dougie Downs again, P15, so he's doing all right. Matty Gerard is making hand over fist moves here, mate. I've never seen Matty Gerard in a truck and going like this. He is driving really, really well at the start of this race so far. What's he like as a driver? Because I know he's part of the velocity, but what's he like as a driver once he gets into a groove or a little system? You know, is he flawless like that?
Yeah, he can be pretty unique of a driver. You know, because sometimes you might look like you have a weakness or two, you know, and you might be able to pick at it, and you know, which I think sometimes, but you know, if I'm behind him or I'm in front of him, but he's so consistent, and that's the best thing about him. You know, he hits his marks every time, just gives a nice clean lap and good pace as well. So which obviously showing tonight, you know, he's keeping with the boys in front of him, not letting the letting them go too far away, which is good to see.
This is Grandpa
Doggy
Gowan's
balance.
putting moves on.
Jeez.
He's just putting moves on Glenn Wilkinson. He's just gone, yeah, buddy, I'm going to go up the inside. And thank you. The Dougie Gowan's
Yep.
putting the moves in. This is great. Matty
good to
Gerard
see.
back at PT as well.
Matty's very happy driver. Like, he'll be happy with P12 at the moment, or P11, sorry. And,
Yeah, it's P11, yeah.
and yeah, just, you know, he's got 3 cars right in front of him. He works with the pack and all. Oh, I thought that was another caution there. If he works with the pack and, you know, just stick behind him, I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, makes a couple more positions. See Murphy all over Gray.
Yeah, Julian Mickey's now pegged that back, but they've lost touch with Jace Holdsworth at the front. 2.82 now. Julian moves to the inside. I'm not sure Dylan really needs to fight this right now. There goes Jace. Oh, that camera angle. There goes Julian. Yeah, see, Dylan just stayed up high and just let him have that spot. They didn't worry too much about it. Look at this pack here.
Yeah.
There's Matty Gerard. Here comes Dougie Gowans, Glenn Wilkinson. Boys, as they roll on through.
I think the most important thing for Dylan is to stick behind with Julian and just work together as a team. The same thing with Christopher behind as well. Let him catch up. You use the draft all 3 of them to try and catch up to Jason, because, like I said earlier, if there's no safety car, Jason's in the prime spot right now with 3 seconds of a gap already.
Yeah, well, he's 4.3 now to Chris Blakely, who we're in the cockpit of, so you guys at home can see the nighttime racing under lights, and you see what's going on in front of Chris here. So these boys need to not fight, do they? They don't need to fight. What they need to do is work together. Be smart about it. Use the draft effectively. See, Julian went up. Dylan goes to the bottom. Can't hold it there. There you can go Chris back up. So again, this is going to bring Chris into it. So again, if they can use this, they can get to Jason. That gap of just on 5 seconds is not destroyable. Like, he hasn't done anything crazy, but he's just gotten clean laps in.
Yeah, Richard, very important. If you're going to go out there by yourself, like what Jason had, keeping it clean is very, very important. You don't want to make a mistake and hit the wall. But that can cause him a couple of tenths as well per lap. But yeah, he's walking really, really smooth, and I actually am very surprised with him just being happy out there by himself at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of these things. We know what Jason Holdsworth's like. He's a bit of a gun in these trucks, but when you've got these 3 boys lined up behind you, if they can work together, you know, that could be a very strong little pack to go chasing down the leader. So I think you'll see Dylan Gray now just pull up to the top, let Julian 3, he'll slot back down. But there we go, he's just pulled up, as I said. I can just see him out of the corner of my eye, go up to the top of the track. Again, he'll sit there now, they'll work on it. So they've got 2 things now. They either got to bring Chris with them, or they've got to try and work together and get away from Chris. Now, we saw Chris last week. He was really solid. So again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris sort of get onto the back of this. But now, look, here we see Julian's going to... No, Julian's going to stay there. Is he going to move up? Did the bottom up? No, he's going to sit there. So what do you think? Is this good stuff that they need to do right now, or is this just going to slow them up in the end, you reckon?
Well, it should be good, like, should be very beneficial, because if you're in a pack of 3, you should be able to just swap draft all the time, you know, just change the lead and, you know, try and slowly cut down the time they're chasing and making on them. And not just that as well, like, if you're sharing the draft with each other, all 3 of you have the benefit of using less fuel, using less tyres, you know, compared to Jason. So you'll be able to maybe undercut him by a lap or 2, which could be very beneficial later on in the race. It's a bit like cycling, you know, when you see, the pack get broken, and you see, like, 5 to 10 boys go out there by themselves. You know, they all take the lead and truck all the time to make sure that they just use the draft and just make sure everyone can serve. Just make sure you stick away from everyone behind you.
Yeah. Exactly right. No, that's exactly right. You're talking about the velodrome and stuff. You're talking about, maximising the draft and using the next car, because you can go faster if you're using the draft properly than you can if you're fighting with each other and trying to slide up and block and move and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think, that analogy is really, really accurate to how these boys need to work. And again, we're seeing it back here too with Mark Grocott, Reno Wilkinson and Michael Lott. Now just trying to get with Braden Sagassa now. They're just trying to work to that little pack, and then they do the same thing. They'll start making a little bit of headway up to sort of Glenn here and in the back of Matty Gerard and Dougie Gowns. We see Dougie's really putting some pressure on right now. Dougie Gowns actually making another pass on ET.
Yeah,
So
very
he's-
surprised not. He was a little bit further back than the boys ahead of him, and obviously wasn't efficiently in the draft. But to see him actually catch on to the draft and starting to pull them together, I think that's fantastic from him. And I generally do not know how much experience he has in a NASCAR, but this is his first proper race, it's a phenomenal effort to do this.
Look at this. Do I dare remind you guys that juice truck is Kyle Ridley. That is Kyle Ridley, who is leading, I believe, the fixed championship here for CFR Widecrest in the NasTrucks. And Dougie Gowns is now sitting in a top 3 position. He's sitting in the podium position right now.
That's just phenomenal. This man can almost do anything.
I mean, you just put him in a TCR, he wins. Put him in a truck, he goes fast. Put him in a Formula Ford, and he just goes. Like, he's a real steerer, isn't he? He's a real driver.
Absolutely, and if you put him in dirt, he probably shows everyone off as well. He's just keeping it nice and quiet.
Someone who's having a bit of a quiet night tonight, Darren Robb, back down there in P7. We do know he likes to make his runs a little later, but yeah, just a little bit of a quiet run right now with the boys up front. So let's see where he can get himself to. But this pack now, they've lost. There's almost a 10-second gap now to Jace Holtwood.
Yeah, they're slowly creeping away from Jason. Well, you see Dylan slowly starting to make a bit of a gap the car behind him as well. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, but I think that maybe they've overcooked their tyres and they're just battling for P2 rather than just working as a team, let someone take a lead and try and catch up to Jason as a team. So it'd just be interesting to see what kind of strategies they're going to use, because 10 seconds, that could be a long gap to try and recover if there's no safety car at all.
Well, yeah, if there's no safety... Well, I mean, even with the safety car, they're all probably going to pit the same window. And then, we've seen how Jace just gets away off the front and makes that gap. So someone's really got to be with him. And in that tow, like Dylan's now about 10.6 seconds. And now we see Chris Bleakley getting to the back of the end, Obviously, do these two work together is the question.
Yeah, I reckon Chris is smart enough to know that you got to work with Dylan while he knows that you've already lost so much time. He's finally caught up to the boys ahead of him. He'll be wanting to make sure that they work together, try and recover some track position.
How much? Yeah, here we go. We see Chris just going to dive down the inside. Dylan looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the car. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It did look like he had a little bit of bonnet damage there, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely looked like he's had a bit of a love tap in the front left, but it could be just a camera angle that might be...
No, he's definitely got some damage there on that front left-hand corner, so that'll be slowing him down as well, won't it?
Oh, that's a couple of tenths from the get-go. Which will make it interesting. Was there contact between himself and Mookie? Can Mookie's falling a fair bit behind now from the pack as well?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Let's get a look from Bryce Manning's car. I don't know, there's really no... Oh, Julian just clouted the wall. right on cue. That's gonna send him backwards. That's Darren Robb up the inside of him. I just noticed that Julian didn't seem to be. Oh no, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think from the visual, the car might look okay, but if he has tapped a roll on his right front, you do lose 2 to 3 turns easily, which is very, very costly on a track like this, where you want all the draft, you want all the top speed. I think that's hurting him at the moment.
Yeah, I think that little bit of damage is gonna. Yeah, there's definitely damage on that right rear for Julian Rookie. You can just see the scuff down that whole side. So again, not doing too well. Dylan Gray's dropped back down to P4 now. He's lost ground with Timo Rondell. Now, whether that's because that damage he's got on that front end and it's just catching him and slowing him down, because he does only have a 30.23, and that would have been in draft as well, I would suggest. So again, 32.21 last lap, so just keep an eye on his times, because he's now dropped to Bryce Mannings as well.
Yeah, I think that damage is hurting him.
I was going to say, because they're running 31.8 thereabouts, and Chris Bleakley just ran a 31.69 last lap as well, so there's a little bit there in Dylan's car, just catching that little air pocket. I don't think, unless he can get a nice little draft from someone, I don't know whether he can actually drive around that damage until the pit stop, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, if that was real life, you'd be waiting for a pit stop to come in, and you have to pit crew jump on the bonnet and tape it down as much as possible.
They'll be jumping on that thing for sure. Hey, I'm blown away by this drive so far for Dougie Gowans. This is phenomenal. How does Dougie do with pit stops, mate? Is he good in the pit?
They're not very good in the pits, but I reckon he might make a mistake going to the pits tonight, because, like I said, if this is his first time, he's gonna struggle making sure he goes in at the right time, not lose too much speed, not obviously cross the yellow cone with too much speed. It'll be interesting to see what he does, and if I was him, I'd probably follow the likes of Kyle into the pits to make sure that you don't make a mistake entering it.
I think I'd probably agree totally with that. If you were running in that sort of position, I'd be looking to follow somebody in, but Jace is now getting to the back of Mark Grocott there in 18th spot. We're on lap 38. At this pace, he's probably going to lap the field twice. This is phenomenal by Jace Holdsworth right now.
Yeah, he's got so much pace. I wish I had a bit of a magic touch like him to have that much pace in the car. It's just phenomenal how quick he is in this car compared to everyone else at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely doing something. What they need now is a bit of a caution, I think. They need something to happen to pull him back. Well, you see a couple of these.
Caution. I think the car that you saw, the purple car behind the leader, Jason, is Matty Gerard. So it looks like he either pitted or made a mistake, because he's currently in P19, which is a bit confusing considering he was up there with pace.
Matty Gerard, no, hasn't pitted yet. So he was running at 33.25. So maybe he's made the mistake, but you're right, though. He has gone that lap down to Jace Holdsworth. Brad Lane is the next one that Jason's chasing, along with Reno Wilkinson. So let's get on Jason's cockpit. Look at the gaggle of cars he's coming up on. He's like, uh-oh. how are we going to get through this mess?
To be honest, I think you'll be loving it, because you'll be able to get onto the track and be able to pull away even further from the leader now. And the boys will be very respectful that they're getting overtaken by a quicker car, and couldn't cause him too much trouble, as we see Tim currently in P2. Oh sorry, P3 was Chris ahead of him and right behind him.
Yeah, he was in the 1.9 MA trap 7, didn't he, right now? It's in 1 out.
Yeah, it's not the first person to be stuck in the purple sandwich.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And we've seen things get a little bit messy throughout the season. So they say Tim's just rolled out of that and was sitting behind again. No need to fight at lap 43 of 100. So I dare say they'll be just trying to drive to their pit number and get to that pit stop. So
yeah, I'm intrigued to see who will be the first to bite the bullet and get to the pits, but we are almost approaching the halfway mark, so it would be very close to the obviously people to start considering pitting for fresh rubbers and a bit of fuel.
yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to know the number that these boys are driving to. 100 laps at Charlotte, I mean, you're probably looking somewhere between 50 and 60. I would have it a guess. Depends on how hard you went out early and how hard you go those tyres. But you could be potentially looking at, in the next 10, 15 laps maybe, you could be starting to see some green flag stops. But again, do you really want to drop a green flag pit stop on something like this? Like knowing there's Holdsworth there up on the top side, knowing that it's such a short lap, is it worth doing it or do you try and bank on that safety car, that caution?
These boys here, ever since the first lap safety car, there hasn't been one, and I think the field is probably a little bit too spread out. And as well, with such a big track as well, it's going to be very hard to see a driver error or contact between two drivers. These boys obviously do show a bit of respect out there on track, and to me, I would love to see the race go all the way through, almost from start to finish. I think these boys are good enough to do it. So, yeah, you'll have to pit under green, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, the only instance that'll be the difference in tyre wear or someone who does just make that slight error on turning with a car that just understeers or pushes on, as we see in Toro and Walsh. You called him out before, man. You did call him and say he's a bit of an underdog. He's up 14 spots in the P6 outright, so that's a fair effort by Tyrone there.
Considering that he was caught up in that first lap incident as well and had nowhere to go, so it's good to see that he's recovered so much, and he is the one that's definitely banking on the safety car because if he does get that safety car, I reckon he could be sneaky podium finisher at the moment.
There goes Jace Holdsworth through turn 3 digger again. God, this angle is so good. I can't help it that it's such a good angle. I love that angle.
Yeah, I think one of the bucket list is to go to like a NASCAR event, but you're just on the start-finish line to see all the cars when they first start, all zooming past. I think that'd be pretty phenomenal.
Jace Holdsworth there just going through, caught him again with this side by side as they're going down that back stretch there. Julian Rookie is in. So Julian has taken the early stop, 14.9, he's coming on in. Now that could be because of damage, because he has been in the wall on that right side, so we'll see if he can get in and get out with a decent car and some fresh rubber and see if he can start putting some laps in, because this could be the pressure that some of the others need to just box in now. So Dylan Gray's also in.
Yeah, like as well as that, because they have a bit of damage as well, aero damage, they might be using a bit more fuel than wanting to be using. So that is probably the reason why they've been forced to pit in lap 50 rather than 52, 53 with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, who's this?
Bryce?
Is that Bryce Mettings? It is Bryce Mettings on the way in. Okay, so yeah, we did call that sort of 50 to 60 mark. We'll have to see. Bryce is going to make this green stop. Looking at Julian Mookie, we said was one of the stoppers. Where is Julian? He took 42-second pit lane transit. So that's something we need to consider. Jace Holdreth is in the box as well now.
Yeah, I think they're just stretching out the limit. Obviously, depending how efficient you are, not touching the wall or touching another car, it's a bit of damage. If you have been with the pack, with the group, I think it's very beneficial for you. Oh, there's been a bit of contact I just saw with Dougie Gowans, and not 100% sure who's in ahead of him. Julian Mookie.
That's Mookie, yeah. So the Julian's
has a
coming
bit of
up.
a lump up from behind.
Yep. Well, you can just see it there too. Or was it the 86 that's...
Oh no, it was definitely Julian that was just before, like the lap before.
Alright, so we've got Chris Bleakley now out. He is still leading. And he's still out there. So he's got... What is it? His 28-second gap to Jace Holdsworth. He needs 42 seconds to stay in front. I'm not sure he can do it considering he's just bailed into the pit lane now. So he's going to drop some time to Jace here in the stop. But we'll see where he comes out. I'm right on board with Chris and see what goes on here. He's a long run down pit lane.
Yeah, they're massive pit lanes. Yeah, it'll be a bit of a nightmare if you make a mistake.
Comes Jace on the front stretch and he's back in front. So where does Chris pop back out? Where does Chris pop
just
back out?
started.
Okay, they work on the left side of the car. Dropped him. And away he goes. So he's going to pull in behind Dougie Gowans.
And obviously he's Dylan Gray going past him as well. So Dylan Gray made a very, very good recovery there, what it looks.
Yeah, Dylan Gray had a 42-second stop. And he's come out and he's fired a 31.36 straight away. So see if he can run a very similar pace to the boys in front of him. He is looking at Bryce Meddings up the road about 1.3 seconds away. I'm not sure if Dylan can peg that back on his own, but he does have Tim Williams, so we'll have to see if he can work on it. Darren Robb back there in P5, 44-second stop. So again, a little bit there, maybe a little bit of extra damage, or maybe just a different point of fuel or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who took a bit less fuel and who took a bit more fuel, and obviously it makes a bit of gains when you can gain a second or two on the boys in the pack that you're battling against. But I think a lot of the field is pretty spread out at the moment, with only I think 9 cars at the moment on the lead lap. So Jason's got massive pace at the moment, and yeah, just he's a quick man.
And there he is, right there on screen as we see it down the backstretch. And jump into that turn 3 digger again. And here he comes, right over the camera. Thank you, Jason, for smashing the camera. Love it. That angle is so good. It's just an amazing shot, that one. Kyle Ridley now back in P3 in the fixed side of everything. He's chasing Glenn Wilkinson.
Yeah, he'll be on to the pussy. Obviously, probably, I'm not going to say he's a little bit slower than normal, but I think he just might have made a mistake or two, because we did see him fall back a little bit from the boys ahead of him, and those fixed boys did catch up to Kyle, so I think might have pushed a little bit too hard on his tyres early on to try and keep up with the boys ahead of him. As we see, obviously, with Glenn.
Yeah, good Wilkinson, Matty Gerard, yep. We see Cole Whittle a fair way back though, so I'm not quite sure he's going to be able to make any headway there. Braden Sagassa now, right up in behind Team Boss. Outright P9 for the fixed guys. Doing an amazing job tonight. Braden Sagassa just keeping the truck nice and clean, nice and straight, and just getting on with the job at hand, so good to see. Dylan Gray now has just dropped back to P4. He's just lost time with Tim Blundell there, so something's gone on. I'll have a look at this. Give me.
It's either that or it's just damage. He didn't fully fix his damage on the front left.
He's moved up to the top. Yeah, he's moved up. He's let Tim go there. That's again. Get on and just go about your business and get on to race another lap. There's no point fighting and trying to crash each other out at this point. So Kyle Ridley here up on the inside of Matty Gerard. Matty Gerard with a bit of damage on that right side, Tyler. I don't know if you caught that, but look at that. He's scrubbing on that right side.
He's fallen back a bit. I think he's 4 laps down now, so I think he might have tagged the wall and caused a fair bit of damage to the car, which can hurt a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Ryan Huckle on the screen now. Just again, he's up one spot, P12, just staying out of trouble. He's missed a lot of that mess early on. And he's just going about his business.
I was only one business away from the podium finish for the 5th NasTruck, so I think he's doing a fantastic job keeping it nice and clean, and you never know, there's 37 laps to go. We have a potential of a safety car that might be able to put him back with the pack, and
don't say it now, Tyler. Don't say it now. I mean, you know what's going to happen. You know it's going to get down the last 10 or 15 laps and something's going to give, something's going to break somewhere, and it's going to be a whoopsie moment, and then we're going to see a big spill here. But we've got a little grey back there. That looks like it's a Bryce Meddings and Tim Blundell there. So again, Tim's gone around both Dylan and Bryce. So Tim now giving chase to Jace, but I think that lead, it's 24 seconds. It's almost a full lap. So right now, I think he's just got to get his head down and run for P2. I think that's where he's at.
Yeah, I think the boys at the moment, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, I think they're really banking on that safety car to make sure that they have a potential chance of catching up to Jason, because if you're going to catch up to a whole lap, it's going to be very hard, because Jason, all you have to do is stick behind you and just get the free toe, and he can make himself a cup of tea and have a nice coffee, I reckon.
Cup of tea and a crumpet, mate. He can just put his feet up and put it up on the dash and just cruise on by, I reckon. But he's doing a stellar job out there. He's at 25-second gap. So again, the more we race, the further he's up. He's getting to the back of that's Tyrone Walsh now in P5, so he's coming. There's no question. He's made this truck just lightning fast tonight. As we've seen in other rounds, he's just fast, isn't he? He's just what we call in the RSing. He's one of those aliens, isn't he?
Oh mate, I love racing against aliens, but you look at them and go, how do you even manage to do that? I do think that certain people are a bit more of an alien when you can go to any car and be quick in any car, but I think Chase is just phenomenal with his pace, Obviously we've got a couple of slow cars ahead of him at the moment that he's going to potentially...
One of those is actually Tyrone Walsh. Oh! That's what I was saying! Oh! That's what I was saying. It would only take one mistake, and that almost took the leader right out there. So who was that? That looked like that was Brad Lane, the 119.
That would have absolutely I couldn't imagine being in Jason's position there. Your heart would have sunk to the edge.
He would have been like, oh no, not now.
I can't believe it.
That was crazy. That was so close. I mean, that was really close.
mean, I've got to give both the boys effort, a good effort for that, because they both made sure that they didn't collide with each other, and they easily could have tangled up and just caused a disaster piece of it.
I mean, good job for Brad Lane there. He knew he hit the wall or whatever he did, he got squirrely and he stayed up high, like, screen blacked out. Oh no! So Pete joined us as his screen blacked out. So that would have been turmoil right there. So that's crazy. But hey, no, good set of driving. You know, Jace was aware of it, and Brad was quick enough to sort of get back on it and get out of the trouble. So that was good driving.
Well, probably the good thing about that, it actually gave the four boys behind Jason a bit of catching up.
Yeah, I think they would have been hoping that I don't think anyone would have really have seen that bar Jason Brad Lane. I don't think anyone else would really have been around to see it because Jace is in a world of his own. Again, like I said, he's looking back at Tyrone Walsh. Probably going to get this pass done. Even though Tyrone's up 15 spots, this is just a masterclass from Jason tonight.
If I was Tyrone, I'll pull the joker out right now. I would just slow down a little bit, let Jason get in front, and use the toe of him and use him to catch up to the boys ahead of him to get that sneaky podium position, I reckon. It's only 28 laps to go, and the more you hold up the leader behind you, you try to battle stuff like that, you're losing time to the cars ahead, so I think it would be smart.
I was going to ask you about that. Would you let him go and would you try and get into his draft?
Absolutely. I think that's his only card that he can play at the moment to make sure that he can really catch up to the boys ahead. Like, we all know that Dylan Gray has a bit of damage, so he should be able to catch up and overtake him pretty easily for P4. But in saying that though, Bryce and Tim, they've got really good conditioned cars at the moment, and they're 4.5 seconds ahead of Tyrone Walsh. So with the pace of Jason, John, I would use Jason as a toe to try and catch up to P3.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that's probably not a bad option considering. There he goes now. So Tyrone, if he's on it, that's the gap to Dylan Gray, and then Bryce Meddings in front. So Tyrone could really look at this gap. So here we are. You literally were just talking about this, Tyler. Let's see if he can actually use this to his advantage and jump a couple of these balls. Because there's a podium on offer for him if he can get another couple of spots. So there's ET up on the top side. That is Dylan Gray right there in front of screen, and you've got Tyrone Walsh right back just behind him. So again, if you're Dylan Gray and you've got these team colours in and your teammate comes up, what do you do? Do you fight him or do you let him go?
You got to let him go. If you know that you got damage and you know that your teammate has a potential to get in that podium, you got to do it. You got to play the team game. And no, if he plays a team game, that would be a big green tick the box that he has to pick off to, potentially be able to drive for the team further on in the future. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Let's jump on the nose cam of Tyrone. Actually, let's jump on the gyro cam and see what he's looking at. So again, he's looking at the back of Dylan Gray again, potentially teammate. You would suggest, and Jace holds with us. So again, at what point, if you're Dylan Gray, do you lift here and let him go? Does he have the pace to get the Bryce Meddings way up here? Is the question, right? Because Bryce is a long way up the road. So is it potential that he gets a podium? Is the only question that I see. But Dylan's had a bit of a rocky run there. Or stay down, Dylan. Oh.
Yeah, I think the thing with Dylan, you basically just try and make sure you be that toe for Tyrone Walsh. But once obviously your teammate comes up right behind you, you just got to let them go. But we see Christopher Bleakley, he might have one. He just freaked out of nowhere, right behind Tyrone Walsh, and he's using the toe as much as possible to catch up to the boys ahead as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just saw Chris make short work of Dylan Gray there. So Dylan Gray is struggling with that truck right now. There's whether it's not good on the older tyres or it is that bit of damage that's on his car, but it was definitely affecting his lap time. It's almost 0.7 of a second slower on that lap compared to Chris Bleakley. So he's the only truck in the top 10, top 9 that's in the 32 range right now. So whether that's tyres or just that damage, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's just been a bit of damage. It won't be turning left as nice as possible. It'll be drifting to the right, so if we just use more tyre wear and just slowly drift out, you lose a few tenths from doing that. So he's doing a fantastic job to keep the car as high as possible in the positions. But yeah, just slowly the boys behind him is creeping up to him and yeah, just gobbling him up. From Matty Gerard, is that behind Kyle Ridley?
That is, yeah, that's Kyle Ridley right there, mate. That's Kyle Ridley back in P4 in the fixed setup tonight. So he's not having a good run at all. Again, no, it's still going to be a solid points haul, but it's just, it's not where he would expect to get them for. I think he would feel that he could get up there, but he's got to get to the back of Ryan Huckle here. So is he just preserving tyres? Is he going to try and work with Matty Gerard here? What's going through Kyle's mind with 19 laps to go?
Yeah, I reckon he'll be a little bit frustrated because he was actually ahead of Huckle,
Dylan Gray.
To fall behind him, yeah. Dylan Gray's in the pits. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the damage on the car is destroying the tyres or just the fuel will roll. He might not be able to make it, so
is Kyle playing the game here with Matty Gerard and doing the whole swapsy, turvy, your turn, my turn thing here? I mean, because he just let Matty Gerard go. Now, Matty Gerard is laps down. So is he using that, your turn, my turn scenario?
yeah, I reckon he is, and especially if Matty Gerard is a bit quicker than yourself, you would run him in front. So you can use the toe as much as possible, but he does look like he's slowly creeping away from Matty Gerard, so
he's falling off the back, isn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he had damage, if he had a love tap to the wall that's causing him a fair bit of damage. Because like I said, all it takes is a small nudge on the wall and that's it, your race is done. You struggle to keep up to the cars ahead of you. As we see Dougie Gowan ahead of that pack. Yeah, I reckon he might have some damage, but he's slowly creeping up now, so...
Another one who's had a bit of a shocker at the moment, Julian Mookie. Oh, there goes Matty. Look at the pace difference there. Just Matty Gerard just went on through, again, I wonder if Julian's just struggling with the older tyres. Here's Kyle Ridley right on the back. I wonder if it's an older tyre problem right now for these boys.
Oh, they roughly pitted within 3 to 4 laps of each other, so it's pretty bizarre how much they're falling behind, but like we said before, he might have had contact with Dylan Gray or with the ball, because both of them simultaneously in P2, P3, and they both just fell back together. Obviously Mookie, he's falling back a lot more than Dylan Gray, but it's just bizarre. We've seen his pace last week and we've seen his pace early in the race. It's strange to people that far behind, and Matty Gerard has made easy hake work out of him too, which is pretty surprising.
Yeah, no, he literally just drove up the inside. But dude, we're down in a 15 lap territory. We are near the end of this race, and we've seen one caution. One. Do I dare flirt and say we won't see it?
You just opened up your mouth and oh no.
As soon as I say it, I don't know who it was for.
I can't believe that. You just cursed someone. Who was it?
I don't know. That's what yellow flag was for, unless it was a throw from the top. Oh, Kyle looks like he's running very, very wide there. I don't actually know. Was it I didn't see anything up on...
No, nothing
Oh,
there.
was it Mookie? No.
No, the yellow's been called from that point there. I definitely know that. So that's not the incident. There must be something else happening. I'm not 100% sure what would have happened.
No, I don't know either. There's really nothing around that I can see. Oh, okay. Dougie Gowans looks like he might have a bit of damage there.
Oh, that's from the contact
Yeah,
with
that's-
Mookie early on in the race. Would probably
Dylan
explain
Gray's got a
why
little
it's falling
right
back a bit
hand
more.
damage. Yeah, I didn't get anyone crashing, so I don't know what that was for.
I did hear the news though. Tyrone Rolls with the Lucky Dog.
Oh, wow.
So that puts him back on the lead lap and behind Tim, Bryce and Jason for a chance for a podium position.
Now look at this. These boys are in the pit lane. Tyrone is actually going to lead this race. Has he
That's smart.
saved enough tyres? Or does he just play for track position right now? Does he make the last 10 laps a fight to the end?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. Like,
There's
I'm
Jason
very
Holdsworth.
surprised.
Yep.
If you've seen everyone else
No,
in
it
first,
doesn't,
second, and
because
third in the
he
pitch,
was, that's right, he was on the wave round, wasn't he? So he was still a lap
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
so they'll be back. So he'll be at the back, and then Jason and the other two boys will get ahead.
So I don't know what brought out that yellow.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre. I don't know who. Like, I didn't hear anything on the radio or nothing from anyone, so it was a bit bizarre.
I hope that wasn't
exactly happened.
upstairs. I hope that's not a competition caution.
Could you imagine that?
Could you? Yeah, I was going to say, could you imagine throwing that right now? Like, I didn't see anything on STK. Nothing showed me that anyone had had a crash and just got yellow flag.
All I know, poor Jason, when he heard that yellow flag, his heart would have just sunk and gone, you kidding me? I had the chance to lap the whole field and it's gone.
Yeah, I don't see anything anywhere around that caused a problem. So that's that is interesting.
I'm trying to find someone really out of position from where they were before that caution's called, but I can't see anything at all. Everyone's roughly in the same position as they were before, so let's
Oh,
have
Ridley's still in the
with-
pit too. There's a bit of a dark horse. I wonder, does he get out or does he just stay in? He's already been in for a minute. Did he have...
He could have a stop and go if he sped into the pitch.
But Julian Mookie also sitting here. Minute 13, 14, 15. That...
That's bizarre.
Okay, Julian's away. Does Kyle get out? Kyle's away as well. Something did go on there.
Yeah,
Julian
not just
thought he
that,
calls
well,
it yellow. Okay.
it could be a result that they might want to fix their car up a bit more to compete.
Dylan felt he caused a yellow. I'm not seeing anything around that may have caused that. Oh well, we'll get on with it because we're only going to have a few laps left in the race. So thanks, Pete Jones, the roving reporter from pit lane. Appreciate it. But yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure what happened to Dylan Gray. He seems to have thought he may have caused a yellow. So I'm not really sure. That feels a little strange. Nothing came up. There was no crash. There was nothing like that. So
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. Yeah, it's just a bit bizarre what happened now. Like, we didn't see anyone crash or heard
No, it was-
anything about anyone crashing.
No.
But, like, I mean, the thing is as well that we also got to remember, and everyone that's watching as well, this is online racing. We are running on the internet. We do live in Australia and probably got the worst internet in the world. So there could be an error that might have happened as well that probably caused the incident as well. So
Yeah, it could have
see
been
what
something
happens.
like that. But I'm sure we'll find out. We'll get a call from upstairs on that one.
But in saying that though, this allows everyone to bunch each other up, and it gives everyone in the top 5 a chance to time pinch the victory of Jason.
Oh yeah, you're looking at Bryce and Tim are going to be the ones who can steal that away, but Tim's going to be right behind him on the restart. Bryce is going to be up high and wide, so we'll have to see how that plays out. So we're still behind the safety truck.
Yeah, looks like something's odd going on at the moment, because otherwise we probably would have been green flag by now. So I think we're trying to sort out the technical difficulties at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. There's something going on.
Like I said, we do got Jason in the lead. Bryce Meddens in P2, Tim Blundell in P3. Is it Darren Robb in P4?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah. They're actually top 4 at the moment.
But Darren Robb is actually in a blue truck and he's not up there. Darren Robb is back there on the right hand side of the screen, way back down the order.
Bit bizarre.
I'm not really sure how they've got the order here because Darren Robb should be in P4 beside Tim, so he should be up on the right hand side there. The 73 was it 73 or 13? The 73, that's Mark Grocott. What's he doing up in the top 4 or 5 cars? So there must be something going on with iRacing there where they can't shuffle these cars at the moment. So not quite sure what's going on here.
Yeah.
Definitely looked like there's a bit of an issue with the iRacing car, like the iRacing control getting run back in a position where they should be.
Yeah, a bit confusing with what's happening at the moment. It's yeah, very strange. It just no one knows why the yellow flag is out, and just plodding along.
I'm sure we'll get word in due time from the boys up there in race control, but or race direction, I should say, up in the stewards room. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll have to see what plays out here because Darren Robb now is registered back in P9. but he's way back. He's way down the order. Like he's down here. He's like third car from the rear. Not quite sure what's
going on there, yeah.
the safety truck he's in too. So again, not really sure what's going on there. So we'll try and get word from race direction there and see what the hold up was.
But we are green at the moment, so the boys
Yeah,
are
gone
going.
back to green, yeah. 6 laps to go. So we'll have to see what goes on.
So obviously we see the Chayton took a nice restart once again, followed by Bryce and Tim. And we are intriguing to see they can stick to the back of Jason and not let him get too far ahead with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, no, there definitely was an iRacing glitch there. They couldn't get things in the window, so a bit of a shame there, but Tim and Bryce now fighting very hard. As we jump on board with Tim with 5 laps to go, there's Jace Holdsworth up in front, Bryce Meddings in P2, and our fixers Glenn Wilkinson, Braden Sagasta and Ryan Huckle, so Kyle Ridley is back in P11 outright. So that's a bit of a shame for Kyle tonight. But just maybe that truck just wasn't there tonight for him and the later tyres. So.
Yeah, we see Robert just slowly going back forwards in the field. They're still stuck behind some of the fixed boys at the moment. We've got 2 boys in front of him before he gets to P5, I think, of the race. Or probably a little bit further back from that.
We are coming down to 3 laps left to go. Their race direction's got no idea what brought out that yellow either, so iRacing has done a doozy little trick there, so interesting.
Yeah, I think what happened was that we opened up our mouth and cursed the game.
Yeah, it's commentators curse, mate. It happens all the time.
What the worst thing about it, they hit you spot on as well. Once you said it, it just came out.
That's right. I said, can we flirt with not having a yellow... there it is. It was fantastic. It was right on cue. So thank you, iRacing, for listening. It happened. So, do you think Tim's got anything for Bryce here? It is the final lap. We are on the final lap of the race. Does Tim have anything for Bryce, or does he just take the P3 and live on to fight another round next week?
You got to send it if you can. He's close enough to have a bit of a crack at it, as you see going a little bit lower, just trying to use the toe, but Jason's obviously just taking the victory. He's all by himself, and yeah, Bryce is a little bit too quick for Tim.
Yeah, Tim, and then we're going to pick up with Ryan Huckle here. He's going to come home in P3 behind the 2 MX Raps cars. And he's going to get himself a podium in the fixed trucks behind Glenn and Braden. So well done to the 2 podiums there tonight. Fantastic to see some of these fixed trucks up in front of the open stuff. So that's, yeah, that's something pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see that the boys are mixing up a bit, and it proves that you don't need to have a setup to be quick, so it's good to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see a few boys are a little bit, nervous about, racing with the open trucks, and the open guys are worried about the fix, but we see it week in and week out where the fixed trucks, they kind of keep up. You see them all filing back in the pit lane now. So we will get our podium in as soon as they are good to go. But, Tyler, what a 100 lap race. I mean, that was fantastic.
No, it was very good. Like, I mean, obviously we had the safety car in the first lap of the race, and from then it was basically green all the way through. Unfortunately, I think iRacing played up a little bit in the last 15 laps. Commentator's curse, but no, it was very good racing from the boys. It's just good. Like, it's just phenomenal. I know Jason went out there all by himself and almost overlapped everyone, but from second all the way down, they're battling with each other, keeping it nice and clean, and I think they've done a phenomenal job with tonight's race.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, we've seen some things in the rounds leading up. You know, we've seen some accidents and some incident points and stuff getting all over the place. But again, this is really good to watch tonight. It was very, very clean, very smooth. So it was kind of cool. Not going to lie, it was kind of cool to watch. And look at that circuit. I mean, under lights. I mean, is there a better circuit under lights for NASCARs?
Well, to be honest, I think the only track that might be able to compete under lights would be Telegator. I think that's a phenomenal track under lights. But saying that though, Charlotte does look pretty under lights.
I thought you were actually going to say Indianapolis, mate. I thought with the Indy 500 win this weekend just gone, I thought for sure you were going to say Indy under lights is.
I could, but Indy 500, yeah, that again, like that does slip my mind a couple of times. That is a nice track, so.
It is a nice track. It's a very, very good track. So we do have Braden's. Okay, so we are starting to get the boys in. I'm not sure Darren Robb is in there. Not really sure why. So we've got Bryce Meddings. We need Tim in there. We don't have Glenn or we've got Braden. Oh, we do have Glenn and Braden, but do we get Ryan in there? So if we go 4 out of the 6 drivers. Okay, so Timo's in there. So let's bring in Timo. We'll have a chat with Timmy. Hey, Timmy, welcome on in, buddy. Hey, good race tonight. It was nice and clean.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah, no, that was a really good run.
No, obviously, 100 laps at Charlotte. Under lights, did you enjoy it tonight? Under lights?
Mate, that was absolutely unreal. The sweat is just dripping off me.
No, I got to say, I think you boys did very well tonight. Keeping such a long green light section to the very end. Obviously, we're not 100% sure what happened there, but what's your thoughts on tonight's racing?
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. Challenging, trying to make the tyres last for that whole stint. So you had to sort of be patient, and then you didn't want to go too hard too early because then you'll burn the tyres off and then you'd have nothing for the end of that stint. So my goal tonight was just to finish the race and try and look after the tyres the best that I could.
So how was the tyre dig out there, Tim? Like, we did notice a few of the guys seem to get a little loose near the end of the stint, but was the dig actually that bad?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't run any of the... I don't run Race Lab apps or anything like that. I just use the iRacing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell when that tyre fall off happens because you do start getting really loose. Right. And then it's just a matter of rolling the throttle more in the corners.
Right. Interesting. No, so we saw some really hard racing too tonight, which was really good to see. It wasn't just a procession to the finish. It was definitely kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. There was some really good battles, and then there was a few times there where I'd let guys go and then let them go for a few laps and then was able to slowly catch them again and then pass them in the first stint. And then the second stint, that was sort of very similar. But yeah, you would come up behind one of the fixed guys and yeah, they just give us heaps of room and you just slip through underneath them.
Yeah, right. So good awareness, I guess, is the key there.
Yep. No, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, mate, time for you to tell us, because it's the first time we've actually had you up here in the Combox, I believe, this season. So it's time you tell us and the people at home who keeps you coming back each week and give those shout outs to your sponsors and stuff.
Six Sims custom seats for all your custom seat needs, and all the guys behind the scenes that keep pushing everyone to get better and better every time we hit the track.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Timmy, we won't keep you, mate. But congratulations, P3 tonight outright. So that's a good result for yourself, and we look forward to seeing you back next week.
It is. It's a great result after the last couple. After putting it on pole and then not finishing the races, it's been a bit disappointing. But you just regroup and move on to the next week.
Yeah, exactly. As we get near the end of the season, you're looking towards the rest of the season for a bit more of the same results there. Try and get more to the pointy end of the field.
I won't be able to do the circuit track.
Oh, Sonoma.
Yeah, I won't be able to do that one because I've got nerve damage in my left foot.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so I just drive one-footed. So yeah, I won't. I'll sit that one out and might see if Matt needs a hand with admin or something like that.
Well, mate, there's always a seat in the Combox. If you're sitting out, you want to pop one in. We could use the driver experience, mate, for sure, up here. But it's up to you.
Yep, no worries.
But yeah, mate,
No
well
worries.
done tonight.
And thank you all the guys that put the league together and give us somewhere to race every week.
It's I'm sure they would do it anyway, mate. It's we're all racers at heart, so got to have somewhere good to race and keep the racing clean and tight. So it's good to see.
Yeah, no, it is. It was really good tonight.
Sure was. Thanks, Timmy. Well, we'll see you next week, buddy, and go and enjoy the week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
See you guys.
All right, let's get the young man in. Get this fella in, Bryce Meddings. Mate, how was that out there for you tonight?
Oh, it was pretty good. Clean and nothing to report. I think I touched the wall once. Didn't do a whole lot more than that. It was a good, clean, quiet, calm race. Didn't have to worry too much. Didn't have to do anything. It's good to be on a 1.5 after a bunch of the short tracks because yeah, that kind of racing is so different to this kind of racing. Yeah, you're always going to have a fair few more incidents on a short track calendar than you are with more 1.5 miles. I do look forward to the rest of the 1.5 miles. Gives everyone a good chance to show really what they can do instead of being so condensed all the time.
Hey, I know you're a bit of a road racer, so tell me, are you looking forward to the final round at Sonoma?
Sonoma. Yeah, 6.5 does
Throw him under the bus here, folks.
Sonoma's I don't like Sonoma. I just find it boring. The Watkins Glen Cup layout, probably the most supreme road course for for NASCAR. I'll say that. But yeah, no, tonight was pretty good. Not really thinking that far ahead. Actually, I don't think we got too many races before that, but I'm not thinking that far in the future.
You don't want to think towards the end of the season with only 2 rounds to go?
Nah, not at all. I'm not even worried about results really. Like coming here, put it on P2, yeah, it's great. But what really stood out tonight was being able to save the tires, keep them in there, get on the right strategy. There was a bit of luck in that. Chris probably should have finished in front of me. Just on how strategy was. He had the pace. He would have had the fresher tires. Got a bit unfortunate due to the caution coming out and trapping him where he was. But that's just a bit of this racing, and that's what you do. But no, the tires were pretty easy to save. I noticed a few of the guys in front of me driving it in deep, so they were scrubbing. And I just had heaps of tire left at the end. If we went to green, I probably could have pulled away anyway. So I was confident in that and had a lot of help this afternoon leading up to the race. But no, I hit the goals I wanted to do today, and it paid off with a good result. So that's all I can ask, and that's all I ask for the next two races. So.
Yeah, no, you dead right, mate. That was it was fantastic to watch from up here in the box for sure. It was good, hard, clean, and it was just a tidy race all around. And I look forward to seeing some more of you guys out there. But mate, you're the only purple truck in the open set in the podium, so you better do the shout outs, mate.
Well, we'll have the two other boys if they come in here and talk later. But as the first one, big shout out to MX Wraps. If you ever need any motorcycle wraps, they're the guys to go to. Motocross wraps, not just generic motorcycle. They're the guys to go to if you need apparel, t-shirts and stuff with your name on them. Again, wearing the 191. Don't have a camera to show it off for anyone, but maybe if this becomes a common thing, I might buy a webcam so we can plug it a bit more efficiently. But no, big shout to MX Wraps. They keep the lights on, and they keep us out racing, and they give us a nice, really bright purple truck that stands out from space. So.
Yeah, no, they do look the part out there, mate. And once again, congratulations on P2. Good drive tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Indeed. I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, bros.
No worries.
All right, Tyler. You want to talk to this man, don't you? You really want to talk to this man. Let's get Jason Oldsworth in here. Jace, I'm going to let Tyler take this one away, mate, because he's itching with questions. I can feel it.
Okay. Shoot.
No, I mean, I've got to say, first of all, fantastic drive tonight. I honestly thought that if we hadn't have had that safety car, would you reckon that you would have overlapped everyone this race?
Yes. I was catching him by 3/10 a lap, and I had 2.4 seconds to get them, and we had 13 laps left.
I've got to say, it's just phenomenal. Normally when you see a track like this, you normally go, if you got draft, that plays a lot of strategy into it. But you just went out there all by yourself and just drove such a perfect race. What was going through your head the whole time when you were out there by yourself?
Just keep hitting my marks. That's all you can really do when you're out there by yourself. And I've had a lot of practice this week of trying to hit marks and do different lines. So that's the only thing I was thinking. Just keep hitting my marks. Don't burn up my tires. And go fast. Keep your head up for lap traffic. I nearly died there. I don't know if you guys saw that.
We were on board with you, mate. We're actually on board with it. And we had Pete Jones in the YouTube chat as well, and we're like, oh no! Take us through that incident, actually. What did you actually see? Sorry, Tyler.
No, good.
Did he just get loose? I can't really remember exactly. I just remember I was heading straight for him at one stage because I was still trying to arc underneath him. And I think he got loose on the top side and his sort of nose started angling down towards me, and I just had to slam on the brake. Okay,
do you want to know what it was? Pete Jones was in the YouTube chat and he called it. He said the screen went black.
Oh, okay.
It makes it even more hairy now that you can actually hear it. But that was Brad Lane, and the screen went black on him. So it's that was what caused all that.
Got away with it. It's all that matters. No harm done.
Because we said, I'm not sure people heard it, but Pete Jones said, oh no, a lot of them heard it. So you obviously made it pretty vocal in the Discord, no doubt.
Yeah, I lost 2 seconds. So if I didn't have that, I would have already called the 2 up front probably. So it's all right. It's fine. Those things happen. It's not the first time I've seen it happen in game, and it won't be the last.
No, I'm sure not, mate. But hey, that was a stellar drive tonight, buddy. As always, we expected nothing less from you, but hey, it's good to see you back in your normal truck too.
Back in my main account. So obviously run it on here. Should have new paint soon as well. So look out for that next week or the week after when it gets done. So looking forward to that. But yeah, it was a good race. It was really good.
Excellent. Love to see it. Well, mate, time to give those sponsors a huge shout out, keeping you coming back each week.
Yeah, obviously the whole team at Nitro, especially Matt Coker this week. He had we did a lot of practice for Road to Pro for him, which he won his split. But that also led to him teach me a lot about this track and a lot of nuances about it. So big thank you to him this week for obviously improving me a lot as well.
Yeah, well done, mate. You got anything else, Tyler?
No, I just got to say, obviously, congratulations tonight. You very fantastic, and obviously your practice worked out really well for you. So yeah, hopefully next week we can see a very similar result from you.
Yeah, I love Gateway. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Gateway. It's a really fun track because you got to shift. So shifting makes things interesting.
No,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next week, Jace. But hey, once again, congratulations, mate. And go out there and celebrate, buddy.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
All right, that's our open podium. We don't have Ryan in the Discord, but we'll bring in this man, this other young man, Mr. Braden Sagassa, mate. 100 laps, Charlotte, under lights. How was that for you?
It was fun. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed that a lot. That was some good racing there, and that last 10-lap caution really threw a spanner in the works for everyone involved.
Well, that wasn't commentator's curse. There was nothing in the commentary box about a yellow flag, all right? So do not watch the replay and do not blame me, okay? Because I was saying to Tyler, I said, I wonder if we can flirt with not having another yellow. Oh, there it is. So
I was almost a part of it. I was definitely almost a part of it. I came in there careening to the last corner, and I almost T-boned Dylan there, but just got a little bit of fender damage, which I'm glad I got away with. But yeah, in the end, it was a good 1-2 for the 1-9 guys, and that was great racing there.
So there was actually an incident there on that yellow flag, you're saying? Because we couldn't see it. We didn't see it. No, we didn't see it.
Yeah, I was the next car behind Dylan when the caution came out.
Oh, okay.
So Dylan just hit the apron and he lost the rear end, and then he did everything he could. He held his brakes, which you know that's what you look for. And yeah, with these cars not turning right too well, it was just a pray to the Lords that I could get away with it. And yeah, just to get a little bit of damage that's all good in my books.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough too. Hey, this is normally the part we'd ask you to do the shout-outs, but I know you got Glenn in the room as well with a win for the fixed trucks. So do you want to leave it to him, or do you want to do it for your team?
Absolutely, he deserves it. I think this is his first win this season, which I'm, absolutely. He's really done that for the last few laps, and I was just praying that he could hold it off, and he did so well to get his, maiden win this season.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it is his maiden win. So it's a huge shout out to Glenn on that one. So, mate, what we might do, we might just drag him in and keep you in here, right?
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'm happy to do that.
Cool. Let's bring him in. Let's bring in the winner of the fixed class, Mr. Glenn Wilkinson. Mate, that's your first win this season. Congratulations and well done.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I had a lot of fun out there tonight. It's just really enjoyable. Happy to come away with the win after the restart at the end. I was a bit worried. It was a hard call about whether to take tyres or not, but ultimately made the right decision. So you did actually come in on that stop? You did, didn't you? You did make that extra stop at the end. No, I didn't. I stayed out to keep track position. That's right, you did too. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, just happy to get it, and Braden coming in behind is really good to get a 1-2. But yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. Yeah, we were just talking to Bryce as well. I'm seeing him up there in the open stuff for the 1-9 boys as well. It's been a solid night for both sides, the fixed and the open. And look, I mean, 100 laps at Charlotte, it's not an easy task, but you held on and you did the best you could. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we were just managing tyres. I think I let most of the field go by. It seemed at the start there, but just played the long game, was really patient with the tyres. Done a heap of practice this week, so I really knew what the strategy was right from the start. And I think that helped.
So were you expecting more cautions in the early part of the race, or were you literally just driving to a number anyway?
Driving to a number. Generally, the races have been really good. We haven't had that many cautions, so I was pretty confident we were going to get the long runs in. And I think that's where I'll go a bit better, is saving tyres, just being really gentle on the throttle and brake. So it's kind of played to my advantage the way the race went.
Yeah, right. No, that was good. We did see a few of the boys playing the longer game, but yeah, I was expecting a little bit more carnage, but it was a really good hard race tonight. It was fantastic to see yourself and Braden there in those 1-2 spots on the fixed truck. So, and up there mixing it too. Like you guys were 7 and 8 outright on the overall ladder. So it's good to see that the fixed trucks have still got pace and being able to mix it with the open boys.
Yeah, that's right. It's I think a lot of practice helped as well. We just knew exactly what to do. We'd done hundreds of laps during the week. So it was good to be out there and have pace against the open guys.
Yeah, nice. Tyler, got anything you wish to add or ask these boys, mate, before we get their shout outs and get them out of here to go and celebrate?
I'll just got a quick question, because obviously I race against Glenn on a Wednesday night. What do you prefer at the moment, the TCR or the NasTrucks?
It depends which track they're at, to be honest.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
That's a good call, actually.
It's a good call. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think this season might be the first season I've been racing with you against you full time, and when you hop into the TCRs, you're so quick, and I know Dougie loves battling against you, but just to see jump into the NasTrucks as well and just be up there as well, I've got to say you're a well overall talented driver, and it's good to see you out there.
Oh, thanks very much, Tyler. It's good to have that variety. I think, I think last week with the TCRs, or a couple of weeks ago, so that was all I did for the week. It was just Nürburgring TCRs, and when Charlotte came around this week, all I did was Charlotte in Xfinity, the Cup cars, the trucks. It was all of them. So it really depends on what track.
That's fair enough, and obviously good to see that your practice is obviously paying out pretty well. Getting a victory in the fixed. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks again, Tyler.
All right. Well, Glenn, we were going to get Braden into it, but he threw you under the bus, so you can blame him after the interviews. But he said, because it's your first win, you can do the shout-outs for the team. So, mate, take it away. Give us the shout-outs and what keeps you coming back each week.
I'd just like to thank Simon and the guys at MX Wraps. They obviously do a good job sponsoring us, and we're happy to come out and just keep their sponsors on the top of the podium, I suppose. So, and of course, 1-9 boys are all great to race with, but most importantly, thank you to you guys and everyone else in the field for having a great race.
Yeah, no, you guys are more than welcome, and look, congratulations again on that top step, mate. And I'm sure that's not the last we're going to see of you up there. With a couple of rounds still to go, I'm sure we'll see a bit more of the purple truck up the front, mate.
Well, thank you very much, Rob.
All right, boys.
Thanks,
have
guys.
a good night. Go and celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, see ya.
Well, Mr. Tyler, that's going to bring our racing to an end, but it's not over yet. We have a review, I believe. So what we might do, might throw to an intermission, and then when we come back, folks, we will be in our review room with the live review for the broadcast, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the show, and we'll get out of here. But yeah, we'll see you soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Handing over to Matty Keane. We are in the review room, and Matty, take it away.
All right, guys, welcome to the race review for round 8 CFR NasTrucks here at Charlotte Speedway. We have one review tonight. It is the last 3 laps involving car 19 and 55. Is for impeding.
Not involving car 19, sorry, mate. It's involving car 29.
Okay, apologies. Car 29. Okay, thank you for
Sorry,
clarification.
that might have been my bad. Anyway.
Okay. All right, last 3 laps. So this is the view from car 29. Car 55 is the second car in front, guys.
Is this after the caution?
Yes.
Right.
Are they on the same lap?
No.
Okay.
55 is a lap car. I'm assuming that's where it ends, guys.
Yeah, that's where it ends.
Yep.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Due process, I'll still show his view.
Is the car behind him in position, or is he just laps down?
He's 2 laps down on this car.
Yeah, but is the car anyone behind him?
No.
No.
That's the next position.
No,
Same
I'm
lap.
the next position. I'm the next purple car was the next position.
19.
And then Ryan
please
Huckle.
mute. 19, please mute.
No.
Sorry.
Just to confirm, the question was, is car 55 defending from another car on the same lap as him? The question is no. Car 07 is the next position for him. Also a further lap down on him. So no, there is no.
Yeah,
no
should
car
be
for
just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you guys have the floor. Tell me.
There's no blue flags, but that's just beyond reasonable. That's just silly.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like if that was me, I would have just spun him. So just lucky that purple car didn't just spin him.
Well, if you're going to say that, Kyle, that becomes now intentional wrecking. If you're just going to spin someone to get them out of your way, that's intentional.
Well, that's just what I said.
Discuss it later. Okay,
Yeah,
so what I
Yeah, he's impeding him. It's 100%. He slid up in front of him out of turn 4, and he hit the wall as well. So and then he's hit him into the corner. So there's no way he's not impeded him. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone with a
Absolutely
different opinion? Different opinion?
Well, just the way I saw it was the car previously, like a wee bit back further, tapped him up the arse end, and then he's just retaliated.
I think it's going into 1 lap before.
That's
I don't think he hit him.
I don't think there's any contact, guys. Just
no contact was made.
That's the first one through, not this one.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. No one any differing opinion?
No.
All right, thank you very much, guys. That is the end of round 8's race review.
All right, that was short, sharp, and sweet. That's all there is for tonight here from Charlotte Oval. We thank everybody for tuning in and thank you for your company. Glad to see you guys there in chat having a great time with these, and it was good to see some hard, clean racing tonight under the lights here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Don't forget, guys, it's not the end of our racing this week. We have our Tin Tops back on Wednesday night. They are coming to you live from Oschersleben. So it's going to be a lot of fun out there. You guys haven't seen that track yet. It is going to be a gem. So tune in Wednesday night, same bat place, same bat channel, 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for our TCR GR86 series from Oschersleben. We thank you once again for your company tonight. We will see you in a couple of days. Be good to yourself, be good to your fellow racer, and bye for